The left's infatuation with lawlessness continues to wreak havoc among America's cities, as violent criminals run free and countless smash and grabs plague the headlines. And now, Democrat lawmakers in Washington state are hoping to give lighter sentences to drive-by shooters, all in the name of racial equity. Here now to explain, Seattle radio host Jason Rantz. Jason, tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
Yeah, it's a rather absurd bill. So right now, under current law, a drive-by murder, if charged with first degree, could be considered an aggravating incident, which would mandate a sentence of life in prison without parole. If you're just getting charged for first-degree murder, it's not mandated. Usually you're serving between 20 and 30 years. So what they're trying to do, Tara Simmons is one of the state lawmakers, herself a felon who ended up on the state legislature, and David Hackney, another state representative, both Democrats, they're getting rid of this as an aggravating factor. So if you are a drive-by murderer, you're likely going to get 20 to 30 years. And as you point out, they're claiming that this is all about racial equity, except there's no data to back up that this has anything to do with racial equity. Representative Simmons is claiming that this has been used to go after young black men, but that's just not true. In fact, it's incredibly rare to even see this as an aggravated first-degree charge. And by the way, she acknowledges that. She claims that it's only been used once. Now, I don't know if that's actually true. She's not giving us any data as to the source of that, but let's just assume it is true. If it's been used once, it's very clearly not being used to go after anybody other than that one individual. And by the way, this bill, retroactive. So the one person that they do cite as having been charged with this particular law would end up go free.
So they're doing this to fight racism, and then when you ask for evidence of the racism, they can't show you the evidence of the racism or that this is being misused in any way, but they still want to take the stand in favor of racial equity by taking this step. This seems absolutely absurd, Jason, especially after a year in which we've seen significant crime spikes in cities across America.
Yeah, and Seattle is one of them. And ironically, David Hackney, who again is one of the lawmakers behind this proposal, his district is seeing a surge of this exact kind of violence. We're seeing drive-by shootings in South Seattle of all the areas in Washington state. This is the one that tends to see a lot of this. And of course, a lot of the victims are black. So if you want to tell me that you care about racial injustice, how about you actually protect the community that you pretend to care about? This has nothing to do with racial equity. It's also more than just a virtue signal. I believe that this is just part of the Democrats' position in reimagining public safety or dismantling systems of oppression. They believe that the criminal justice system is a system of oppression. So they're trying to get rid of as much of this system as they can because they believe, due to their ideology, that they can come up with a better one. Except it's just nonsense, and it's making our lives more dangerous. And in particular, it's impacting the black community.
They are the music makers. They are the dreamers of dreams. Thank you, Jason, so much for filling us in on this.